Mix is the newest addition to the Valorant agent roster, and he is actually kind of interesting in a way that I'm not too sure about whether I like it or not. Because he's like an agent that has less of a specific purpose like other agents do, and is supposed to be like more for the wider audience and for the ones of you that play this game for like good vibes and all of that, you know? He's a pretty easy agent to use is what I'm saying. So he's supposed to be naturally pretty simple. Why it's kind of difficult to judge, we're gonna get to later. But first, if you haven't seen any of his kit, I'm gonna like go over this real quick. So he's a controller. So naturally, his signature ability is just a smoke. Now this one isn't really special, it's essentially just a clove smoke. It's hollow, it's roughly the same size. You get 2 of them, iPads deploy modes, and I think they're like a bit longer than clove smokes. And additionally to that, you cannot deploy them while you're dead. Makes sense, it would make clove completely invalid. Now what is a bit of a shame though, is that he's sound-based, which isn't bad in itself, but the fact that it just gave him a basic smoke is kind of like, it's a bit underwhelming, to say the least. So see, it's just a glorified flex. You get, you know, because it's like kind of a fidgeting toy, you can like switch between modes. Anyway, bad joke. It's kind of an orb that you throw at people, it has a radius, and depending on what mode you're in, that you can switch by right-clicking, you can either heal yourself, your team, as well as the enemies, or you can stun them. He has 2 of these, which in itself sounds pretty good actually. Has 3 ticks, stuns the enemy, bit of a narrow radius, but that's okay. The thing is though, about this orb thingy, is that you can easily destroy it. Like, I'm talking 2 shots. Q is just a stim. Actually, there's a bit of a twist to this for Mix. Because for Mix, you have to like apply it to a teammate. Then you get the stim and your teammate gets the stim. And as soon as one of you gets a kill or an assist, it reactivates. Like, it keeps going as long as you keep going. Second bad joke. Like, I really should stop with these. You can also just apply it to yourself if none of your teammates are still alive. Completely fine. Apart from that, it's just a classic combat stim. I don't think I have to talk to you much about that. I hope you know what that means. Last of his kit is his ult. It's cone-shaped. Like, it kind of knocks back the enemy, deafens them, slows them. Yeah, that's essentially it. It's also the first ult that is actually cone-shaped in this game. We haven't had that one before. They usually are just box-shaped. So that one is pretty interesting. Its range obviously is not unlimited. It has a limit. But like, the further they're away from you within this reach, the wider it gets. It's a cone. I think you know what a cone is. Isn't cone like a 3-dimensional object? Whatever, I actually have to check that. It's probably like a triangle, but it can be like a pyramid as well. Anyway, not the topic of this video. So how good is Mix? It's the question we're gonna get to now. And I don't know, like, I feel like he is not the best agent I've ever played. He will definitely not be my new main, but I think he's not that bad. The thing is, I probably have the least to say about the stim. I didn't even really notice that I'm using it, to be honest. I can't really say too much about that yet. Maybe if I play like another 50 games on him, I'm gonna be able to say something about that stim. But for now, it's a combat stim. It's gonna help you. But yeah, the stim is probably the last thing you should look at when you figure out whether you want to play that agent or not. Now, first ult, it really plays a lot worse than it looked initially, just because it doesn't do that much. Like, being hit by it just means that you get knocked back, then you slow it, and you deafen. The thing is, you can normally aim, which means it's essentially just a gunfight. You don't hear them, they don't hear you because they're standing. You're not moving. Can be pretty helpful to stop entries, can be pretty helpful to get people off planting the spike if it's like late in the round. Maybe even like a retake tool, especially in a combination with other utility. It is essentially just a worse breach ult. To get to the smokes, they are incredibly basic, and that is actually so sad because there would have been a lot of good things you could have done with a sound-based agent that covers the line of sight. I've seen many good ideas, like, I don't know, make the steps louder in the smoke for like enemies or something like that. They could have gotten a little bit more creative. That's actually my main problem with this agent, is that they've really been lazy with this one. And that kind of has the reason that they wanted to make an agent that is somewhat easy to play, which is the upside on Mix. But it kind of comes with the downside that he's really not that special, which is sad to see because there would have been a lot of potential there, I think. But yeah, his smokes, hollow, iPad deployment, you don't have a lot of range, so keep that one in mind. Not a big problem on attack, but on defense can be a bit more problematic if you don't have like a second controller. They last a bit longer than clove smokes, but they have a normal size, nothing special about them. Usable? Definitely. But I wish they would have done a bit more of that. Which brings me to his last ability slot, his C. And I've kept that one for the last one because I think that is actually the best part of his kit. I thought this was going to be so incredibly bad just because it was so easily destroyable. I'm telling you, I'm not sure whether it's just like low elo, whether this will fix over time, but people are not shooting that thing. Like, you can throw that anywhere. I think out of like I don't even know how many times, 20, 30 times I've thrown that thing. They destroyed it like 2 times, I guess. So yeah, people don't really do it. I'm not really sure if it's just because it's actually that hard or people just don't know that you can shoot that thing. But it really is a helpful ability, especially because you can also use it to heal. Which means it's kind of a 2-in-1 ability. God forbid he only would have had a heal. If he only would have had a heal, horrible agent. This way, I feel like he actually gets a lot of usage out of him. Just because you can smoke, but you can also stun. And that stun can be really helpful, especially on maps that are pretty narrow. I've had one situation where Waze walked up on us on Fracture. I threw the C ability. And he turned around to shoot it. Easiest kill of my life. Actually, I'm not even sure if when I killed him or I did. So, especially like when you rush them while you do that or flood the side, it's gonna be more difficult for them to destroy it because they have to decide, do they flick on your stun or do they flick on you? And that is actually way more helpful than I thought it would be. So all in all, who is this agent for? Like right now, I think it's just gonna be for people that want to pick a controller, but are not really comfortable with the other ones. Like with Astra, you're gonna have a hard time if you play it the first time. Omen, what are you gonna do with your TPs? Stuff like that. Makes it somewhat easy. You just throw your stun, you use your stim on one of your teammates. Best case, the duelist. You go in, you smoke before you go in, and at some point you have your ult, you just use it. Now, I'm a diamond player, so I might not get his full extent yet. We will actually see this over like the next couple months, especially if Pro Play starts again. We will see if he's actually being used. The only problem I have with him, I think it's a shame that they didn't make more of him. They didn't get more creative. They didn't get more experimental. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing, and leave a comment with what you think about the agent. I will be reading all of them. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna see you in the next one. You cannot see me waving, but I'm waving.